Okay. Let's do
Sharing screen again, except this
Please.
time pushing the button.
That's important.
Oh, look how good you did.
Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Welcome to Everyone Racers.
A show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of limit champ or lucky track dog league you run, SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate. As long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussions, tips and tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing. And whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough. And Chrissy gives us just the tip. We're sure you'll giggle a
A
little.
show designed for the
And
world
learn
of
even less.
low-dollar racing.
Everyone.
That's so much.
That was almost like a round.
Around.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
It's almost like I saved the wrong recording when I was trying to redo all of our voices. Yay! Yes.
Great.
So
well,
yeah, everyone report
is-
to paddock.
Yeah, this is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
And I'm Mental, and we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for joining us for a Rotax 1630 episode of our podcast. It is episode 325, and if you thought we were going boring, you haven't been paying attention. The supercharged Rotax engine, available in the 2024 Sea-Doo RXTX and RXPX, produces 325 horsepower at 8,200 RPMs. Yes, the Austrian-built 1.6 liter 3-cylinder is available as a crate engine. I have no idea what transmission you would use, but prefabbed for any transmission is our E1R bingo card. It's also ready for upgrades in 2024. The
Good call.
first edition, courtesy of AJ on YouTube, will be Mental's Moon Trailer.
Yes.
So,
What does this Sea-Doo look like? Oh, it's so fancy.
yes, it is also like $20,000.
And I cannot imagine that a boosted to the moon, like hanging on for dear life, like 110 horsepower per cylinder, little tiny engine is going to last all that long in the harsh marine environment at 8,200 RPM. And yeah.
Well, and
with-
all personal watercraft have to be limited to 69 miles an hour. Nice. But yeah, so
Is that
like
real?
it'll get 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds on the water, but then you get like 10 more miles an hour and that's it.
Also, can I say that can I generalize about the people that drive Sea-Doos? So if the majority of people are not equipped they should not be allowed to go this fast, this quickly,
Fact.
because they're
yes.
probably drunk and they're not good at driving and they probably have truck nuts.
I had a friend actually, like usually boat people hate, jet ski
Yep.
people and jet ski people hate.
Correct.
But a friend of mine actually pointed out, he says the problem with the personal watercraft is they're inherently antisocial. You're there by yourself and this giant
Or
thing
you have
making
and even if you have somebody behind you, you can't talk to them.
no,
Oh,
no.
all right.
But a boat,
I buy
everyone
that.
gets on a boat, you
You have fun
pontoon
together.
boat, speed boat, ski boat. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a group of, and I'm not bagging on people that are into personal watercraft, but yeah, it's just it seems kind of counter to the entire water going culture, I guess.
Got it. Okay, I was not thinking about it that way. I was
All right,
just
and welcome to
generalizing.
Everyone Watercraft.
Okay,
Which-
Mental, what are you working on?
So I got my Miata back together. I've got my rear view camera. I permanently wired it for my old radar detector, and then my buddy John Polnick loaned me his Valentine. So I'm back into that. I had a conference call yesterday planning out with another team of the 2024 race schedule.
Wow,
And because it was the holidays and we were putting stuff away, I have been purging. So the office is much neater. Not that anyone can tell because you only see the wall behind me. But I've already taken 2 loads to the thrift store just down the street.
Oh, good for you.
Vicky's cleaning out her closet. So yes, we are working on,
Interesting.
and more on that as we get to the main topic.
Hmm.
That's what I've been working on. And I had bought a mid pipe off of Facebook Marketplace for my Miata. Normally this thing's like $700. This guy worked at a Mazda dealer. It was $150. Fantastic. So while I was rotating the tires and doing some other preventative maintenance on the Miata and putting the interior back on, I went to go see if this pipe would fit. No, it is a soup to nuts. So I'm going to have to buy a header and an exhaust, which I will probably do sometime in 2024 because I got such a deal on this mid pipe. Yeah. So
Sounds like a
You
lot of
can't
work.
afford not to do it.
it would be stupid not to. Exactly.
Oh, God.
Luckily, fiscal responsibility
One of
not on my
those.
goals list this year. So
That's a good. That's good. That's good.
But despite battling some illness and you guys it was colder here this morning than it was where you were. And I know this because
Really?
I woke up and it was miserable cold. I was doing my little morning ice splash thing. It was 39 degrees here. And I'm like, I wonder what temperature it is in Pennsylvania
Wow,
right now.
it's
And it
not
was
that cold.
51 degrees, but it's been
Mhm.
raining where you guys are.
Yeah,
Huh.
a lot today.
So despite all of that, Chris has like a paragraph of work that he got done.
Yeah, well, none of it was today. Today I was doing actual work. But over the holiday weekend, I had actually a fair amount of time to work on the Porsche. So that was nice. So it is mostly back together right now. It's actually sitting on
Yay.
its own wheels for the first time in a long time.
Yay.
It has new shocks, which are conies, new bump stops, which 3 out of 4 were gone, new strut bearings, new pads and rotors, rear main seal is replaced, transmission input shaft seal is replaced, oil pans is resealed with Honda Bond, so that should work better. It fixed the oil fill tube clamp, which I think was the reason it was leaking toward that general areas because it wasn't clamped, and once it's running hot, the vapors would come up that way. New crankcase vent fitting. I drained a bit of fluid from the power steering system because I think that was another source of oil leak. It was a little bit overfull and leaking out the vent into one spot. So I think that's resolved. Low temp thermostat is now on, which is apparently a thing you just do on these. Everything's greased. Like every link I had off of the ball joint, I jammed extra grease in it and did all that kind of stuff. All the fluids are new, like brake fluid, trans, engine, you name it. And now it's just pending some axle boots, which will arrive tomorrow, so I can replace these tear ring inner boots. But while it's all apart, it's getting red line grease in all the CV axles and new boots, putting them back on, and then needs an alignment. And I found out tonight my Hakomoto Flying Miata hub stands do not fit the Boxster because it has 14 millimeter wheel bolts where everything else has 12s. So wah wah. I actually have to go to a shop
Weird.
and pay for an alignment.
Ugh.
It's the first time in years I've had to do that. So
That sounds terrible.
mm-hmm.
The CLS, you couldn't do it on the CLS.
No, that's like the last car I paid to have an alignment done on.
Yeah.
Same reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, there it is. Yeah.
Yep.
German's a big
Yeah, it works for all the little cars, which makes it good.
I admittedly have not done any work on the Porsche at all. But
Why
I have
would
been.
you? It's all been done.
Oh, I mean, he's been working every night. So I guess I've been doing other things to help out with the family. Also, we had some people over for Christmas. So there was lots of prep, lots of cleaning. Yeah, that's what I'll say that I filled my time with. Yeah, I had to work at the library for a little while. And it's funny when I go leave work from my job where I'm in leadership, and then I go and sit at the library, and I've got these old ladies that come in and say, "You don't work here. Do you work here? You're new here." And I was like, "Yes, I don't know how to do anything." They're like, "Why are you sitting behind the desk?" And I was like, "Because the staff didn't show up and I need to be here so we could be open." And
I feel like the perfect answer to all of their questions is shh.
Well, no, our library is not a quiet library. But I also wanted to say that because I'm like, did you know why you're yelling? Like, and I told them, I'm like, I run this place. I legit run this place. So stop it. Anyway, I'm trying to be nice.
Well, maybe you should step up a little more, kind of thump your chest a few times. Go, I run this bitch.
I did say, I'm sorry, I'm filling in for some staff. I am the board chair, so I do belong here, but I just don't know how to work the computer system because I have people to do that. Anyway, news and news.
So Victor Tangerman at Futurism tells us what we kind of already know. Tesla's crash more than any other brand. That's right, it's not just you. Lending Tree compiled an insurance analysis of 30 car brands from November of last year until last month. Data was based on insurance quotes and found that per 1,000 drivers, drivers had 23.54 accidents. But this is not necessarily the brand, as it might just be a demographic spread of the owners. We say this because the second most crashes per 1,000 drivers went to Ram truck drivers, who have 22.76. As the podcast Grumpy Old Geeks said, quote, no matter what they tell you, Teslas will not drive themselves. Fret not, listener. The future doesn't belong to the robots yet, because the worst overall drivers measured by accidents, DUI, speeding, and other citations is still Ram truck owners. But it's worth noting that by measure, Tesla is a close second there. So, yep.
In news that's not news, but now you can throw it at that arrogant Tesla owner in your office.
I need a second.
This
I can't even
So,
log in.
Chris, you're in insurance. Does this surprise you at all?
No, not really. This is also why the NSX costs less to insure than the Escalade, despite being worth considerably worse, because the people that drive NSXs are less likely to crash into things and less likely to cause a lot of damage. It's also why the $500,000 in liability on the scooter costs me $3 a year, because what are you going to do with the scooter?
I'm impressed. If you do $500,000 worth of damage on a scooter, you like drove it into a Fabergé egg shop or something.
Yeah, it's mostly you caused a thing that made something else happen. Oh, the reason Chrissy's running away is that the Roomba has started in the room where she is. Yep. So
all right. Well, she can jump in when she gets back. I'll jump in with mine. So after practicing on some of the guppies, the Justice Department has landed a whale, a big coal rolling whale. The Associated Press is reporting that Cummins Inc., the engine manufacturer, has agreed to pay $1.67 billion in a penalty. This is the largest civil penalty ever secured under the Clean Air Act, and it is the second largest environmental penalty ever. And this all arises from a Justice Department claim that Cummins unlawfully altered hundreds of thousands of 2013 to 2019 Ram 25 and 3500 pickup truck engines, as well as auxiliary emissions controls in over 330,000 Ram 2500s and 3500s from 2019 to 2023. Now, without admitting wrongdoing, Cummins claims that they have, quote, cooperated fully with regulators, and they points out that they issued a previous recall of the 2019 Ram 2500 and 3500s, and now they are issuing a recall of the previous generation. In a Friday release about the agreement, Cummins said that it does not admit wrongdoing, noting the company has, quote, has seen no evidence that anyone acted in bad faith. And I'm saying Cummins, and it is Cummins. I'm sorry. I know, and you know what's ridiculous is I know that, and I still just did it. But after going all those little people selling stuff on eBay and everything, looks like they finally went after the source on that one. And I'm not a real big fan of them doing that, but I'm also not a big fan of rolling coal.
Agreed.
I generally do like clean air. It is a nice thing.
It's better than dirty air.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. I apologize for the delay that you've had to do.
You had to go wrestle a Roomba.
I did, which I thought went home and then decided it was charged and now needed to work. Anyway, maybe you know Zach Caldwell. Maybe you met him last year during one of the events that he drove his 2007 Dodge Caravan race van during a 30-day trip this past May and June, over 1,800 miles on track, plus road trips to Colorado, Jersey, Michigan, even he stayed at our house. You might even know Zach has the intention of running this is the same van in every Lemons race this year. He's calling it the Cannonball. If you don't, Sajeev has the full story at Hagerty. Zach's family bought the van new in 2007 after he stripped the interior, had a roll cage installed in 2022. Zach went racing. Even if you haven't met him, you may not know that the van is actually a tribute to his mother. She was car lover, a cancer survivor who was inspired at his journey in Lemons. So his goal this year is to raise $23,000 for Lemons of Love, charity that provides care packages and support for chemotherapy patients. To do that, he has a Printify store with silly merch, including a calendar covering the Lemons adventures from last year. Links in our show notes with Sajeev's pros. Why, you might ask? Well, that's it. Zach said himself, I'm going to do one race. I'll do them all and drive 30,000 miles there and back in the same terrible race car. An LMP2 prototype can't do that for $100 million. Link in
Right
the
now, he is also scheduled to stay at my house.
Okay.
When he heads out to California.
We didn't invite him yet, but but maybe he will stay here. You are mute, friend.
Trying not to cough into the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fair
That's
enough.
great.
All right.
Well,
I should click on the on our sponsor thing so we can show it to the YouTube
All right.
people.
Tim found something for us on Racing Junk.
Yes.
Tim found us a Ford 2001 F650. This has a Caterpillar 210 horsepower engine, a 4-door cab, only 39,000 miles. To quote, this will be a super vehicle to tow any type trailer to haul your toys and give you a home when you get to your destination. 2 50-gallon diesel tanks, 26,000 pound gross vehicle weight, tows whatever you need to move with Allison 2000 transmission. Has beefy suspension, ABS brakes, cruise and idle speed control, block heater, heated fuel water separators, extra batteries, big alternator, good tires, passed inspection in Pennsylvania, which I'll say is not easy. New pads and the custom coach, which is looks like a bigger than normal ambulance box on the back. Includes microwave sink, freshwater tank, black water tank, sleeps 2, air conditioner, and more photos on request.
And that's the thing about this one, because it looks like a really cool truck. It's $29,000. And as you mentioned, in Pennsylvania, but I can't help but think how much better that ad would have been, because there's only one stinking photo. And what they should have done is use Pod 23, gotten that Racing Junk Pro membership. And then they could have had like 50 pictures and videos and up to 5 ads and know who's watching all of it. So,
And
that's a good New Year's resolution.
It needs it without, you're saying, well, what does the inside look like? I'm interested to see how they did the living box in the back.
Yes.
Nope.
Nope. And literally for the price of an appetizer at Applebee's, you totally could have had this thing, man. All right. So check it out. Pod 23, Racing Junk. Do some joy scrolling. Make yourself happier in the new year. If you find yourself yelling at your social media, no one yells at Racing Junk unless they say, holy crap, this is a great ad, and I have to send it to the people over at
You have to send it.
Yeah, send it to the fine folks over at Everyone Racers. Just like what happened with the Ricky Schroeder Daytona that showed up this past summer when you guys were judging, that we profiled. Guy never heard of us, but yeah. Oh,
it's okay.
Cool. Okay. It is the final crap can endurance race of the year. Champ Car is doing their New Year's Eve at Sebring. They have 97 cars.
Wow.
Which is
Good for them.
proper. Yes.
Wow.
And only a fifth of them are BMWs. 19
That's
BMWs.
It's
good.
still boring.
It's pretty
but
good. It's a
It's
little
going to get more
still
boring in a second.
Then there are 28 Miatas. Are there any
Wow.
Miatas left in Florida?
Wow.
So once again, it's half Miatas and BMWs. Half.
Yes.
Fully.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's New Year's Eve at Sebring. Good on
Yeah.
them. 8
Mhm.
Hondas, 8 Porsches, and a Ford effing Ranger.
What
Oh.
else is there?
I saw some other.
It's got to be a Mustang and a Camaro, or there's
a
always
bunch
those
of
kinds of
Mustangs,
things in there.
Camaros, and
Okay.
Yeah. Especially in something that big. When they start breaking the 40 mark, I think that's when the interesting cars start showing up, especially the
Yeah.
races in the South. There's some fun people that do that stuff down there.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Let's start feedback.
And yes. Oh, listener feedback. We had lots of holiday greetings from our listeners for our various posts over the social medias. And sincerely, we thank you. We hope you had a safe and warm holiday season. And we are wishing you all a happy new year.
So our buddy Adam N sent us a little too late for stereotype episode, and I started listening to it while you guys were talking, and it's about a Pontiac Sunfire.
Yes,
And
this is like literally my, 20s in Georgia. And we'll share this on the video. It'll probably get us banned or something. I don't demonetize, but here's the song.
Well, if she drives a 98 Pontiac Sunfire, bud, there's a pretty decent chance she's gonna fuck your whole life up. 98 Sunfire, you can bet she smokes cigarettes and also meth. And if she shoplifts like Canadian type, she's probably cheating on you with your neighbor Kyle. Fuck you, Kyle. 98 Pontiac Sunfire.
So we will have a
Oh
link to
my
that
gosh.
very, very funny TikTok in our show notes. Thank you so much for sharing it, Adam.
That's
That
funny.
was great. And yes, every time. And somewhere in that stack of papers is a summary judgment.
Or at least some kind of court order.
Yeah, there's
Something.
definitely a court order in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Mm.
You know who also in our other mental in the snow IG post, Troy H said, "Hey, that's Atlanta racing weather." Yeah, it seems to be.
Yes. You know who,
Who doesn't
never
have
has
any
a summary judgment
Or
against her
outstanding court orders. Yeah.
She does
and
not.
would not be seen in a Pontiac Sunfire?
No. Mm-mm.
Hi,
That would
Chrissy's
be
mom.
Chrissy's mom. Yes.
Yeah.
How did the
Mom.
cookies go over this year? You guys had like crazy cookie bake-a-thon when she got the Rona last time we talked.
Yes. No. So we had Bake-a-thon on Friday. It was very successful. It was great. We had a good time. Got a lot
Oh.
done.
I can attest to the quality of said cookies from the Bake-a-thon.
Yep. Yeah. It was fine.
Excellent.
We got it all done.
All right.
Main topic time.
Main topic time. And before we lean into our main topic, Chrissy, you have to go last because I actually knew what you were getting before you got it. I'm very
You did?
excited.
I
I'm-
can't believe you told people.
He was bragging and it's awesome. But Chris,
Oh.
Only a
did you
couple
get?
people know.
what did you get for Christmas?
I got some 986 swag, like a little metal beer bottle opening keychain in the shape of a Boxster and a little matchbox, actually 2 matchbox Boxsters.
Yep.
And yep, a new armrest cover. It's nice leather, which is good.
Yeah.
And I got some Griot's Garage ceramic wax and a collapsible wash bucket. I don't know, those stuff maybe we're on our gift list episode. Who knew? That's a great way to go.
The bucket was not. I was like, this bucket
No,
is
the bucket
amazing.
was not, but it's a nice bucket. It's collapsible because buckets take
I
up so much
know.
room. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
I was like, this is great. I was already buying stuff there, and I'm like, let me just find what other stuff is there. So yeah, super fun.
All right.
So it was good.
I hope
Like-
one of you is ready to screen share here when you talk about.
Oh, I only have it. I have it on my phone. I guess I could send it to myself.
I can do it. Hang on. You talk while I send.
Okay.
Chrissy.
Okay.
So what did you get, Chrissy?
I got some work pants, which I forgot to put on our episode about
Now,
my
like
favorite
working
things.
on car pants?
Working on
or,
car
like,
pants,
Work,
yep.
Work, because you
Nope.
work in an industrial. Okay.
No, these are working on car pants. I actually get dressed up to go to work because I don't work on things, and which helps me not to be able to work on things because I usually wear nice clothes. I'm usually just the boring person that goes to meetings. So nice work pants, the Dovetail, I believe is what their name is. And the ones that I have before that I love, I got a mushroom farm. I'm very excited about growing my own mushrooms. Just one of those little boxes you put water in, grow some mushrooms. Yeah, and I'm sure I got some other things. That's what's on the top of my mind. I also got, are you ready? Drum roll. Not ready. He's working hard.
I hope that worked. I hope they
No,
can
it
do the
didn't.
microphone.
Did not.
All right. Okay.
Just say
Boom.
what it
If
is.
you're
I got
looking
it.
on there is a
That's
very
me in-
proud
In my
pajama clad Chrissy on the street in front of her house on your very own.
Motto combo.
So my order got canceled.
Yep.
She got one for Christmas.
Yep. I
Moto
did.
Compacto.
Moto
Moto
Compacto.
Thank you. Yes.
Moto Compacto. It makes me look like I'm going really fast there. I'm not going very fast. It is not very fast. I also, as soon as we got it set up, my one nephew, the little one, was like obsessed and was insisting on helping Chris to put it together. And then so this is that there's I know these aren't the best pictures. I'm sorry. There's Chris doing it, but then so this is Chris riding it in the house. So
Because it's
looking-
electric and it doesn't pollute.
Yeah, and it fits in the
Correct.
trunk of a Boxster.
Chris, you're
Not
still
the
sharing your
front.
screen.
I know.
Okay.
I know that. It fits in the trunk, but not the frunk. We learned that.
That's excellent. All
Yes.
right.
So Chris rode around the house. We figured out how to set it all up. We charged it up, and yeah, we had a great time. It's fun. It has a hard time. We live on a pretty big hill. It doesn't really. It's really kind of struggles up the hill. It goes down the hill very fast. So yeah, brakes work. It's fun. Super fun. I'm going to be the queen of the paddock. It's going to be amazing.
That is awesome.
And I was
Another
very
gearhead friend of mine who's a Honda nut also got one of those, and he was most excited because it actually has a bell.
It does.
How much did I ring the damn bell? I
A lot.
ring the bell. Yes, it was great. He made it last till the end. He did see he had to go out for a couple hours to go save Christmas, and I had no idea what he was going to save Christmas about. Like, I'm not getting any diamonds. I don't know what you were going to go buy. And then that was the last present we opened, and it was super exciting. I did get a really great, so we had the nephews over. They're 2 and 4, and I got a loop-de-loop Hot Wheels, and it was like the star of Christmas.
It's
He
a
like
powered loop-to-loop Hot Wheels. Like the car goes through it and it gets accelerated back out up the loop.
Oh, yes.
It'll crash into other ones and all that stuff.
Oh, that's fantastic.
so it was good Christmas here. Okay, Mental, what you didn't even fill this out. What did you do? Get?
So I haven't got anything yet. Vicky
okay.
ordered me some things and she said, can we wait until it all shows up? Because Amazon kind of let us down. And as that we don't have kids or nearby nieces or nephews and that sort of thing, we actually tend to go do our Christmas shopping after the first year when everything's on sale.
That's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
Right. So
Support.
I did get Vicky, one of her little genuine pleasures in life is the Sonic, the little tiny nugget ice. So I got her a desktop ice maker. And then actually based on our gift giving episode, I got her a really nice electric fleece blanket that she can sit in there and watch
this
TV.
too.
Yes.
It's a great thing.
Yes. So yeah, that was, so I'm still waiting on I have no doubt that it's inbound, but I have not gotten my Christmas gifts yet.
Okay. I thought you were saying that you got one too, or you were excited.
No. I think I told you guys, I picked up an electric skateboard when I was doing Sonoma. It was on the local Facebook marketplace and it was a really good price. So
Did you
I've actually
kill yourself on it?
No, I rode it through the paddock trying to find somebody who had parked in front of a trailer and they couldn't get out. And I'm yelling at people in it. And the road flows very nicely when you're on an electric skateboard. And then I rode it to the store and back the other day. And yeah.
Okay.
It's not as cool as yours, but
no, it's not.
Oddly enough, will not fit in the trunk of a Miata. It has to go in the passenger seat.
I don't know that this one will fit in the Miata. It would not fit in a Miata.
It'd be tough getting it in the opening at least. Like
we thought it could fit in the frunk, and I was like, "Oh, it'll fit," and then, "Oh no, it will not fit." So
our listener Buddha got one, and his big thing, and he showed me it will fit in the trunk of his GR86. So. Yeah,
fits
excellent.
Fits in the trunk, not the front. Okay. Anyway, that's now that we've talked about that.
I can't wait until April. I hope I get to ride it. Well, actually, you know what? I'm presuming I'm invited to pit race, but yeah.
When you're here, you will get to ride it.
That's a fair cop. There we go.
That is a fair comment.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. It is still main topic time. We're talking about our New Year's goals. For those of you that, if you're new to this, we do this every year. Not so much resolutions, it's goals. It's a target. It's a point on the horizon. And that way, if you get it, awesome. If you don't get it, you're still there. You didn't miss out. I think it is actually shaped. It was a Chrissy term, but it is shaped the way I think about, New Year stuff.
Good.
And so what we typically do is we go through our goals for last year, which I literally copied and pasted
Good.
from the notes. And then I went through and, I graded my stuff and then you guys, looks like you guys did the same
We
thing.
did. Yep.
So we should give ourselves a report on how we did in 2023.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
I guess I'll go first. First goal I had last year was win B for the Mazda. So close.
So freaking close.
Again.
Damn it. We were
Again.
like
Times,
8
so
laps
close.
up in New Hampshire.
Again and again. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
And we can't be mad. And it's not like we didn't undo it. Nobody hit us. Just the car's not ready for it yet. The car is not comfortable with the car needs
keeps
a confidence
finding
booster.
More bullshit excuses.
Yes, exactly. The car is sabotaging its own victory.
Yeah.
The car needs to talk to Dr. Phil.
Apparently.
Wow.
Well, so yeah, not so much. Got close. Next was get to mediocre TIG welding skills. And I will say, done. Yay. I'm mediocre.
You've
Done.
built 2 functional carts.
I did, and they haven't broken at all yet, which is
Mhm.
and I built a fireplace grate, which has survived a year's worth of fires, and it's still not broken. So I would say mediocre welding skills achieved.
Okay.
Do you get that really cool coloration on it now?
You can, yeah.
No, I mean, no, on your fire pit thing.
No, it's
Okay.
covered in too much ash and stuff.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Next was actually drive the RX V8 on track. Yeah, about that. No, that's that project has not progressed at all,
No.
despite a little bit of work we did to it. Rebuilt
Yes.
the motor last year, but
Yes.
anyway.
There's a
Next.
garage being built that hopefully will be worked on.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Next was sell the MG. That's a big nope. Again. This
And
has
I'm
been on
not
the list how
laughing
many years
at
now?
you. It makes me feel a little better about mine.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Yep. Next one is do more exterior housework. I'm going to call this a success overall. We did a lot of work to our porch, which looks much nicer. Put in new, which included a new door and all kinds of stuff. That was a lot of work. And put in a new front walkway and patio covering, which looks dramatically nicer. We put in new exterior lighting earlier in the year. So we've done enough outside work in the house and I'm satisfied enough to call that success, but we've got plenty more to do.
We have like
So-
phase 2, which
Yep.
in your parentheses. So
Yep. And next one, sell the Corvette. Done.
Dun,
Success.
dun, dun.
Woohoo.
It's gone.
Yes.
I occasionally
and
get a text from the guy in California who bought it, and he seems to be having fun with it.
that's
So,
fantastic. I'm actually going to be talking to Michael Deeb later tonight. I'm going to sneak out of here and go do a live episode of Bid Nerds. And if you're just listening to this, you can go back and look at it because it'll be too late. But you did mention that pleasant experience dealing with.
yeah. Michael was very nice to deal with, without a
Okay.
doubt.
So if you're looking to sell a collectible ish car, get a hold of us in the DMs or something like that. I'll happily put you in touch with Michael Deeb. And he used to live here. He lives in the Bay Area. Terrifically nice guy, and he is a broker for Hagerty, among other things. And he will happily walk you through and be completely honest about the process of how you're going to sell that car.
Yeah, and he pimped that car all over the place. I will absolutely give him that.
Yeah.
Next on mine was run more outside. I'm going to say I ran very, very slightly more outside, like once more, maybe.
I don't
But
even
not
know
enough.
that's a thing.
No, I'm going to call that neutral.
Hmm.
One new track. No,
No.
didn't do that.
You
That's also
bicycled the new
getting-
track.
I did bicycle the new track. And I visited another new track and rode in a minivan on it, but I
Right.
didn't drive on the track.
Well, it just says one new track. It doesn't say drive one new. I know your intent
Yep.
was drive
Intent
it.
was to
but
drive. Okay, fine. I operated a vehicle on one new track, so I guess I did.
You
So,
you
yeah.
stepped foot on a new track.
I done two, and I operated one at movement, actually. So I guess we'll call that a maybe.
Okay, sure.
We'll lawyer
Okay.
ball that one.
That's it for
My-
me.
My list was pretty short. Wouldn't be the Mazda. We already went over that. Not yet. Get in comfortable. That was mental's challenge. Drive cars that weren't mine. I didn't even close to do that. So
No,
that's
no,
a
didn't you go with the Garage Heroes and run a Miata?
yeah. I guess it's a car that's not mine. Yeah, I did that.
It's hard to be uncomfortable in a Miata, but
I mean, and it's a car that I'm not used to, and also there's a lot going for it to not wad it up so they can drive it home. So, okay,
Halfway.
maybe
You had one,
halfway.
not two.
Fine. Okay, I'll buy that. I was saying no, but all right. Yes. Push-up challenge, still doing push-ups. If I had done them very consistently, I think we because both of us were doing it, would be doing more, basically trying to do push-ups every day. And so I think we'd be doing more, but we're still doing it. So I think that's still going.
I'm a lot faster at the number that we're doing than I used to be.
Yeah. I just still doing mine in 2 sets, but still doing
are
them.
you comfortable sharing the number or not so much?
I'm doing 30
Oh, okay. Okay. There we go.
with no knees down, just traditional push-ups. So, yeah. So, okay, probably could be doing more, but that's what we do. Time in the Honda, no. And then be more learned. Yes, I did that. And now I'm trying to figure out now what, because Chris leaves me to go. I got my OSHA certification, and Chris now leaves me to go fly an airplane. And I say, great, the house is cleaned, and I made soup. And now what am I going to do? So I have to figure out what my next steps are.
Painting.
Yep.
No. No, and no, not walls, not one color, not multiple colors.
No. I meant like portraits, like, with
No.
an easel and one of those little things.
No.
Maybe
You're
there's a
kinda
happy tree
overestimating
right here. Lives right here.
Chrissy's artistic talent.
It is negative. It
You could-
is.
You could paint racetracks instead
One-
of the maps you used to draw. Now you could paint them.
One time I tried to make a cute little snowman for my Girl Scouts to like put their badges on them. And I made them and I tried really hard. And I had my co-leader and her daughter was like laughing hysterically at me at how lame they were. And I was like, this is like the best I could do. And they were it's not great. I look like it's 10. 10-year-olds can do better than I can. It's not my given. It's not.
All right. If you have
Okay.
a suggestion for what Chrissy can learn
Mm,
to keep her learning going, let us know.
Sure.
All right. I had
Can't wait to hear.
way too much crap, and there's a whole lot of no's here. But one of my primary goals, I wanted to get back to running because I had heel surgery in February. In fact, I was taking my old day planner and transcribing it into this year's day planner, and I was going through, and I even had my weight recorded on there. So my first goal was back to running, heal as quickly as I can, and then quickly lose the gut. I am actually 5 pounds lighter than I was 12 months ago, but I have not returned to running. And while this gut is very annoyingly persistent, so I'm still working on that. We'll call that one a halfway. I wanted to have all of my vehicles running, even if that was a transient condition, and then get rid of the things I cannot fix. And it's a fail, but I have progressed in that direction. So I got rid of some things. I just haven't gotten rid of all the things I have. I still have the Oldsmobile, which I love the Oldsmobile. I've got the Honda bike, and I've got my ATV side by side. And then that falls into, I wanted to promote my projects to toys, and I have failed, absolutely failed. And I actually listed that I wanted to do the Alaska rally, and I had put in for an entry and couldn't find anybody to do it. And I wasn't going to go. And then they had the last minute openings on there, and I said, the hell with it. And I literally was at my desk at work with my credit card, and I bought my airline tickets, and I made all the hotel reservations, and then started trying to look for a car. And the Cordell brothers absolutely stepped up. They were fantastic. And I got to meet their kids. What an adventure. Absolutely worth it. Just so happy that I got to go do that. I wanted to do 2 new forms of motorsports, or at least 2 new events. And no, didn't do any of that stuff. Also in the realm of trying to make our house more like a home and less of a construction site, we have actually made progress. So now we have a permit filed with or an application with the city to get connected to sewer, which is the first phase of like a 7-phase project to start actually like building the house that we want. just before Christmas, the electrical box that controls our pool pump completely fried. And we had that redone. So now we've got a good electrician that we trust. And one of those things that you should have noticed as it was happening, but you didn't. So as soon as they got it all hooked back up, we noticed that our pool light is immensely brighter and the pump is running a lot more just steady. So apparently the original junction box that had held the circuit breaker for the pool pump had been going for a while. So working on that.
Oh, when it goes slowly, you don't notice it when it's just a little tiny bit.
And we had a power outage, and then Vicky popped out and she noticed the pool pump wasn't on. So she goes and flips the circuit breaker off and turns it back on. When she turns it back on, she literally hears a and smells smoke. Turns it
Usually a good
off.
sign.
Yeah.
That's not,
turns
that's
it
not
off.
great.
No, it isn't. And we had a good electrician come out here and he's like, oh yeah, there's your problem right there. And he just shows me all the burned wires. So that went out there. Wanted the RV gone. That didn't happen. And that's because it sat at the world's worst RV repair shop, Camping World of Las Vegas. You hella suck. And it sat there for 8 months.
How do you really feel about it?
God, I hate them. So, but there is a plan in place. I wanted to have the Moon trailer gone. Luckily, no, because then would it even fit on the bingo card? So no, I still have, and in fact, the Moon trailer and the Oldsmobile have not moved. They are literally sat in the exact same location.
So what is the Oldsmobile?
It's
Corey's old
Corey's Omega.
Omega. Okay.
With-
I was thinking
with,
that you had the El
yeah.
Camino. I got it. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. Without all the cool suspension, but I do have a spreadsheet of all the cool suspension bits. I wanted to do more local driving and instructing, and I did not. I did one PCA day. And I remember that day fondly because that was the day I ripped the stitches out of my heel going there and, flooded
Gross.
my shoe with blood. That was fun.
Ew.
That's like a great day.
Oh.
I remember as I was limping, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm limping out to, my garage to drive the hour to the track. And I grabbed this stool that I have in my garage because I'm like, I will be sitting a lot today. And I put it in my passenger seat and I kept with my student, I kept like coming over next to his car and then putting the stool down and sitting because I could not put any weight on my foot. I wanted to get
That's a
back
shame.
together with the Three Pedal Mafia as a race team member. I still say we had a fantastic time at the Halloween Hoopty Fest.
Yes, we
It
did.
was
Totally.
a great time. The
Except for frickin' mayonnaise.
fucking mayonnaise.
I
God.
love, oh gosh, I love mayonnaise. It is
Oh.
my favorite.
Oh God. Well, at least it isn't relish.
Oh,
It's true.
freaking
Fucking
relish.
relish.
Who likes relish?
Nobody likes
Nobody.
relish.
There's
Nobody likes
one
relish.
person that takes a little spoonful off the top, but then you have the rest of the jar in your
Yes.
refrigerator forever because there's this one guy that likes a little tiny bit of relish.
And
on
he
his hot
has to be
dog.
a part of like the whole, underground relish industry. Just goes around to picnics, takes one thing so you can't return it or keep the
Right?
jar unsealed.
Right. Then you
and
like
then you've
have to
gotta
throw it
buy
away.
more. Exactly. And finally, I wanted to buy less crap and build more things. I did buy less crap. I did not build much.
You like weren't home though. Just as
Yeah,
we
you traveled a lot
like,
this year.
yeah,
did.
especially with
I did.
all the races you did. And then you were working a lot and you had all these, did so much. It's not like you were just like, oh, I did nothing this weekend. Hello. You were sitting down probably less than we were. And we were up, 13 out of 16 weekends, you said, in the summer?
Yeah.
That's a stat you came up with. And then
Yeah.
even then when we were home, we were still doing stuff because that's why we were home. So yeah, no, you're a crazy person. You've even said you're a crazy person.
Well,
So
it's in my name.
I don't feel like
Yep.
that's not fair to say that you didn't build much.
I didn't. Well, I wanted to create stuff. I wanted to build things and I didn't, but it was also just buying less stuff as well. And I don't think I picked up any projects this year. The only
Yeah. Trying to
crap I
think.
bought was my skateboard, and that thing was only like $200 and it's
Nothing,
totally worth it
nothing
already.
Yeah, you didn't
large
buy any more
and
914s.
obtrusive and
Well, I bought one more 914, but that's the one that runs. So
well,
I
I
got
bought
rid of
that
two.
one more
Okay.
I got rid of the one.
914. Oh,
I only got that.
I only got
914.
that one.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't think that didn't really count as a project because it was a running driving car. We can go back to that episode where I'm pointing as it is getting dropped
I
off in my
remember.
driveway.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, runs and drives.
I think it's still
you
a
do drive
project.
it.
It's not.
It's a running driving project.
I'm
Is
like, it's
a
not like it's.
914 ever not a project?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And-
I feel like as he's listening to this, DJ 914 already said that. He's like, 914s are always projects for him.
Well, and I feel like if you're like, okay, when we bought the Merc, that's not really a project. It was a running, driving car that is going to be a daily that we once over, and we were like, yep, looks good, let's go. And now it's a car. So I feel like your definition of project is a little more different than ours.
Well, hopefully it's a lot nicer definition of project as opposed to the previous 914s, rusty shells
were-
with no engines.
Fine.
Yeah.
You win.
No, you know what? I do. I nerd. I had not considered the prospect because this was a truly great year. And yeah, I got to do a lot of stuff and go a lot of places and meet new people. And yeah, it was a great time. And I should not just measure it on these goals. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. 2024
So
time.
what are we going to try and accomplish this year?
Okay. I've got some repeats.
Yep.
I bet you can guess them.
Yep.
Even the people at home.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to try to win B in the Mazda again. Hey, who
Yes,
knows?
Ditto.
we are.
Ditto.
Dang it. Oh,
Ugh.
that car is just so easy. I
Yes.
like literally, I've never been in a race car for that period of time. And then you'd be like, oh, hey, it's been 2.5 hours, time to come in. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. I didn't even notice. This is great. Yeah.
Unless you're
Yeah.
dying of carbon monoxide, then you're like, can I get out? It's been a half an hour. I would like to get out now, please. Please.
Dying or just being poisoned? Because
Mildly asphyxiated. It's different.
mildly asphyxiated,
Okay.
And there are people that pay
Okay.
money to have that happen to them.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it's pretty bad. That's what I did. I paid money for that to happen, actually. So there's that. It was not the intent, but that's what
Oh.
happened.
Less pleasurable than anticipated.
Agreed. And I didn't really know that was the case.
Would not recommend 2 of 10.
Would not recommend.
Worst kink ever.
It's not the time for this. Okay. Keep going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's great. Next. This again, people seeing this one coming. Sell the MG, which we're closer. It's in the trailer. It's right there in the trailer. I just got to get the Porsche and Civic out of the way.
You're
no
practically right there on the Porsche. You're just waiting on
No
the
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, the axles. Yeah, exactly. That's almost there. Next on the repeat list is do more house exterior work. We did some last year, and we're going to do more.
Do you have, is it just a generalization or are there specific projects you want done?
I would really like to make a patio in the backyard with a hot tub on it.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
I'm especially now that it's cold here. I'm back to my hot tub rituals at night. Totally worth
that'd
it.
be nice.
Well, I mean, the fact that it's colder there than it is here, there's that. And we'd have we'd have a frick lot of snow if it was cold today.
Yeah.
It's
last
still
week, too.
raining. Yeah.
And this house exterior work is probably going to involve buying a small backhoe to do stuff. One of those.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, can I come up for a work on the house weekend to drive the
Yep.
backhoe?
Yep. When do you want to drive the backhoe?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Buy a small backhoe, do the work I need to do, sell the small backhoe, and have some fun in the meantime, right?
Like one of those ones that literally it's just like a bar stool with a Predator engine and like just a slightly oversized excavator.
Like a Kubota tractor that has a loader and a
Ooh.
backhoe on it. One of those kind of things.
Oh man, you got to
probably
move
not that
everything out of
good.
your porch to park it there.
No, whatever.
Oh, put it on the side of the house.
Yeah.
There's no boat over there anymore, so we can put it over there.
Yep. All
Awesome.
right. Next, get the Civic to race ready status. And it is quite close actually now. I mean, the cage is 3/4 done. And
yeah.
then it's just fire system and like I want to paint the inside to make it look nice, and then it's like then that's like pretty much like would pass tech, can go race. Beyond that, it's just development. I would like to do one track night in America in the Boxster, just because I think it's fun to drive sporty cars on the track once, just to that you get a different feel for them. And that's nice to do.
And that one's replaceable, unlike the other one. So I will
Exactly.
allow it.
Thank you. Thanks, honey.
Welcome.
That was the point of getting it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right.
she'll play
It
it.
exactly
So-
was the point. It's a beater Porsche.
Mhm.
I'd like to continue.
Highly
to,
recommend beater Porsches.
Well, your beater Boxster didn't work out so well, did it?
It
It
did.
was great right until it wasn't.
Yeah, but for what I paid for it, what I had in it, what I got out of it, totally worth it. Would do over.
Cool.
Hmm.
I'd like
Cool.
to continue doing plenty of travel. We traveled a lot this year. We have a fair amount of travel planned for next year. So
Correct.
travel is fun. Let's do that. I will. This is a repeat. I would like to run outside more frequently. I think we can do that. It's just I am much slower than Chrissy, and she just go.
No,
she
that's
sits
not
there
true.
and it sits there and can have a carry on a long conversation.
That's what I do,
easily
actually.
As I'm going. Yes.
And I'm like, so here's what I did in my day. And I just make a whole long story about what I did in my day.
Yep, it's nice.
Hmm.
And last thing, I would like to finish my private pilot's license.
That would
Excellent.
be great.
Yep. We can fly planes places.
That would be fantastic. I have
And
a
it
very,
paves the way to your other goal of travel.
except where we're traveling, I don't recommend taking a tiny Cessna. It will not make it, I don't think. I have a short list and I feel like it's fairly lame. Win B, duh. See more of the world. That's the plan. Last year I had on a list that was not on this list, but it was on my personal to-do list, was learn how to actually do a long handstand. Right
I
now
just
I'm
assume the ones that you post
Yeah.
pictures of are always like 5-minute handstands.
yeah, I know. And I make we make it look like that. And
I'm really good at timing the pictures.
he's really good at timing. So I can do a handstand, but I'm going to put it back on my list of stuff to do here so that I will actually try to learn how to do it instead of just throwing my legs up there and hoping for the best. That's what usually happens. And then learn something other than French. So I've been learning French for a good couple of years. Hopefully I'll put it into use so I'll be able to practice this. I did practice it this year when we went to Quebec. So that was great. So I don't know that I don't know what I'm going to learn. I'm going to come up. I'll have to figure it out.
Do you guys have
Spanish should be
a
useful,
plan for
but-
your training in French and travel that might coincide, or none of my business?
Yeah, we're going.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead.
So me, carryovers. Yes, I want all my vehicles to work. Just get rid of what I can't fix and promote my projects to toys. And as I talked about, I got rid of things. So to hold myself accountable for that, I literally spent 2 days with my phone and a calendar and a list of my projects. And I now have a list of deadlines
Really?
approximately every 30 days. If I have not made progress on one of these things, it's gone. First one is the Honda car. So if you want a I think it's technically a Gen 3 Honda Civic. Yeah, Generation 3 Honda Civic with a questionable engine and all the interior bits and no title. Let me know, because if I have not successfully evaluated it by the end of January, it's gone. So yeah, free to a good home. And yes, my Honda motorcycle, the ATV, all of these things, they have deadlines that if I have not done anything, they're getting chopped up, with the exception of the Oldsmobile, because I love that car. I still want to try new forms of motorsports. I want to do a dirt track. We've got one right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and then we've got one up there, and you can use the little Hornet cars and the little 4-cylinder things that are automatics, and it's where every Sunbird that doesn't end up with your methed out ex-girlfriend end up. And I know I'm going to be terrible at it, and I don't care. I want to do it. I want to get into a sprint race and actually just feel what it's like to hang it on the ragged edge for 20 minutes and not try to save the car, but instead actually just friggin' throw down, or karting outside of just rental carts, or even just a gambler event if they get far enough down here or close enough to do that. I also really want to win B in the 3. And we were feeling so good about that one. All right.
Yep.
A new one. And I've posted pictures when we went last year. There's a couple of things. But Patrick, I don't want to pay Patrick Stewart, but he's the Star Trek guy.
Picard.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. Patrick Long has a show. It's a Porsche show, and he does it in different locations every year. Luftgalt, and this year it's going to be in Nashville. I'm not going to that one, but he has one on the West Coast that they're calling Luft Air and Water, which is an invitation also to the water-cooled Porsches. And I went to the one that they had last year. It was actually a lot of fun, and we went to one in LA. So this year it's April 27th. And my goal is to have the 914 running enough to go with all the Porsche nerds here in Las Vegas. We will probably depart here on a Thursday morning, make the drive to LA, check into our Airbnb. On Friday, we will do Professor Run. If you haven't seen that, get a hold of us, and I'll send you the link to the Der Fascination film about the professor. And he sets up these great little drives for all these Porsches. I want the 914 to be able to do that. And I also want to submit it for display in the show. And the great thing about this show is they're not looking for all fully restored or historically significant cars. Sometimes they just like cars that look different and haggard. And I think that this 914 is enough, but I've got to do some work to it. It's got to get a little bit more reliable. I've got to patch some holes in the floor, and it's got to stop doing some of the things that it does. And I want to be able to run it on the Professor Run and not die hanging off, the mountain, driving up to Angel's Crest or some such nonsense. With my fitness, I wanted to go or, run and do this. And for years, my fitness has always been driven by an endurance mentality. And I don't know if that is where I need to be anymore. Most race cars I drive are very comfortable. They're not unpleasant places to be. They have cool shirts. They're well maintained. They're not noisy. And I've got good gear on. And what I feel like would have served me a lot better is being a lot more flexible, both physically and mentally. So my fitness, I want to shift my fitness goals from just how long can I run to how many different things can I do in a row, and move from one to the other and start working on some of my hand-eye coordination. I got those Blaze pods. I haven't been using them. So I don't completely know what it looks like, but I know what I want to focus on. And that is my flexibility.
I like that one. That's a good one.
And I just stole this from you, Chris. I also would love to do a track night in America in the Miata, but also the SCCA is doing time trial. So it's a similar thing. It's like an open time attack, but it's for stock cars, like unmodified cars like that. So I might try and get the Miata on that one. I did get the Miata on track last year, and it's exactly what you expect a Miata to be on track. It's stupid fun. I had a great time with it. And this one, it's one of those seeds got planted a couple of years ago at Thunderhill, the Loose Nuts racing team. They're actually based in Tennessee now, and you'll see them all on the East Coast. And if they show up at a race, they're Halloween meets gasoline. They always do. They always go really, really hardcore on it. They're great folks about that. But the very first race they came to was actually when they were all living out here in California, and they did the Thunderhill. And the guy was watching Ranger Road, and when he won the award, or when the team won the award, he looked at the Ranger Road guys, presented them with, donated his winnings to them and said, "You guys make me want to be a better veteran." And that's been kicking in my head for a while. I'm not the guy that wears the hat that, has my ribbons on it or walk around, but I go to the veteran well quite a lot. And I don't know if I'm actually giving back to the community properly. So about a week ago, I reached out to our guest, Jeff. We had Jeff Langston. He does some of the stuff for Ranger Road Motors, and I'm looking to go out there and help them wrench on their car on a work weekend, or even just go out there and support the Ranger Road race team. So I want to try and do that, and then find some also local community stuff, and just, the community that I proudly say I'm a part of. I can't really say that I'm supporting it because I'm taking and I'm not giving, and I need to be back better to that. And then that bleeds into my last thing is, yeah, I've got some friends who are deep into this, but your mindset, and I'm just becoming more aware of where my brain tends to go versus where I want it to go. And rather than looking to the next thing, but being present and being aware in the moment. And I know that sounds like a lot of hippie crap for a guy that got his hair cut this year, but it's something I should be more grateful. And I don't think that I'm ungrateful, but I just don't think that I completely acknowledge how blessed I am with people that choose to spend time with me and allow me to come in there. And that includes both of you guys. So I really want to start focusing on that and just being more grateful for the opportunities that I had.
That's a great list.
Yeah. And I'll throw this up there because we were having this conversation earlier this week, and that leads into, and I want you guys' input on this show itself. If you're listening to this, we are immensely grateful for this. This really started as a joke. And then someone recognized Jeff's voice at a driver's meeting, and oh crap, people are listening to us. And so many nice people have done so many nice things, and it's opened up so many opportunities. So we are just grateful beyond words that you guys welcome us into your car and your homes and your iPods and all of that. And I feel like I've let that slip sometimes into a sense of obligation, like we owe it. And when it becomes an obligation, it stops being less fun. So I don't know if you're going to see the same level of content on the same regular basis out of us this year that you saw last year, but I'm hoping to shift that into higher quality content in the sense that we're not just doing a show to do a show, but we're doing a show because a guest or a subject or something entertains us, or we find interesting, or we want to present to you so that you actually are happy you listen to every episode that you listen to. And if you've got something for us on that one, let us know. But yesterday you guys weren't feeling 100% and it was like, oh, we got to do this. And this all started because we wanted to keep in touch and we wanted to have fun. And I think we've done that, but I'm letting myself often get pulled away from that, and not to, sell out family secrets, but it has not always been happy. The podcast has not blessed everyone that we've dealt with on that one. And I hate that. And so if we get it back to being fun, maybe we can recenter back to the thing that we really started enjoying back 325 episodes ago, when we would sit around half crocked in a computer and make stuff up as we went along. So still come talk to me or talk to us at races and introduce yourselves, and we'll still have stickers and all that other kind of stuff. And we'll find some interesting swag to give out this year. But just don't be too mad if one week there's just not an episode because we had other stuff we needed to get done or wanted to get done.
Agreed. I
Yep.
like it. Yep. Exactly
Mental-
what we said.
Puts the words out that actually work. Great.
It's great.
You got some words, friend.
Yeah.
Nice job.
All right. That's a long list.
That is
Yeah.
a long list.
I think all these are doable for all of us, though.
I do.
And then some.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's where we usually pick up.
And even if you don't, if you just make progress in that direction, you're still better off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, not some
like-
of them are stretches, some of them are half in the bag already, but that's okay. You got to have a mix.
Mhm.
So, perfect.
Yeah. Be comfortable being uncomfortable sometimes.
Speaking of
Absolutely.
being, it'd be great if we just got the B win, because all of us would get a gold on.
Yeah.
Be nice. Just get it done.
Oh, that could be the theme for that weekend is being. We're just being, man. We get some wigs, we show up, we're dressed like hippies. We're just here to be, man.
That would have been better for you last year because you
That
already
totally
would have been in
better for me.
costume.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's that.
I know. God, it just hurt my helmet. It hurt when I put a helmet on.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so hot. I just spent so much time with my hair up all the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's why Chris gets his haircut right before, because it's terrible.
No.
Yep.
Yep.
Totally.
Okay.
Chrissy, I know
Oh,
you spent today writing a whole lot of safety weeklies. So what
What?
safety topics do you have today?
I was trying to get
for
ahead.
Are we wrapping up the year with an actual
Just-
proper
Just the tip.
I mean, I have so many.
The freestyle just the tip. So
I don't like this. I like to come up with
Too
better
bad.
thought processes.
you wrote 4 of them today. You can go up with one
I
of
wrote a
those.
lot more than 4 today.
Yeah.
I wrote one on trying to avoid awkward body positioning, because it's easy to not stick your finger in a saw. I mean, it's not for everybody, but a lot of the times you can identify that you're like, well, I shouldn't touch this very hot metal. But there's activities that you're doing. So either if you're working in a cramped space, like inside a car, or if you are constantly working above your head, so your arms or your hands are working above your shoulders and it becomes uncomfortable, especially if you're doing it for a long time, or you're doing like additional reaching, you're putting your body in a different position because you might be so focused on doing whatever that task is. But starting to identify what you're doing before you get into that position. What could hurt more if you continue, but obviously very applicable to anybody doing continuous repetitive motion work, or they're so focused on trying to get a job done that you are only thinking about getting that job done, and then you are like, well, I didn't realize how I was sitting or standing or moving or twisting. So trying to identify awkward body positions before you're in that too long, and then you have the possibility of not getting hurt.
Yeah. What happens if the grinder gets away from you right now?
Yeah. And can I move, or or like, oh, it hurts when I just have to hold this thing above my head. You're like, well, let's
Don't
figure
hold
out
the thing
what.
above your head.
Well, if that's the task that you're doing, sometimes what you have to do. So what can you do to help your body before you realize yes, tomorrow, and you're like, wow, that sucked. I was twisted the whole time to try to get around the roll cage and in this thing, and now I hurt so bad. So sometimes there's a lot of things, especially with a roll cage, you can't work. You have to work around it. You can't do much. But consider your body positioning, and maybe it'd be better to take the seat out, and there's a couple bolts, and that's annoying, but maybe it's easier to do that than you try to be in the lotus position with your head under the dash with your feet out and around the roll cage. Just think about where you're putting your body. That's
Good life
one
advice, really. Not even
one
just
of many.
about safety. Yeah.
Yep. Don't put your finger anywhere you wouldn't put other things.
As much as people thought
In
that
a
would be
in
great
a
if I
ni-
put
in,
it,
in a in a 90s Pontiac Sunfire, for example. So yeah.
people thought that should be my t-shirt, and I was like, pretty sure if the CEO walked in, he would not agree that that is a good safety t-shirt. He probably would agree with the advice. It's just not really great as a sanctioned
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah. You're not wrong, but you
Yeah,
are fired.
but you probably shouldn't wear that at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
All right. Anything else? Or is that it?
No, but thank you to our listeners for sticking with us through this year. It's been a great year.
Another one in the books.
Another one
Thanks,
in the books.
everybody.
I'm sure we'll
And
have a
thanks
show
for
next week.
downloading us.
I don't know.
Well,
We hope you enjoyed this.
Or next year, who knows?
Oh yeah.
Either way, maybe the same.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. Hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's free. Go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcast and give us that 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, 5 stars, tell us why. Questions, show ideas, goals, anything like that, drop us a comment on all the places that we are in the social medias or in the emails of everyone.racers@gmail.com, or text mental pictures of your junk, especially junk with bows on it. He loves seeing pictures of that. 484-243-0455. Yeah. Thanks again, everyone. Until next week, keep the shiny side up unless you didn't get a collapsible wash bucket for Christmas and you don't have a shiny side, and just keep the wheels down.